Hey guys, you won't believe what happened in today's episode. Could you imagine if everything you bragged about actually came true? Well, that's exactly what happened to the main character in this web novel I'm reading. So, our protagonist, Eagle, is just a delivery guy, pedaling around on his bike all day. But little does he know, his entire life is about to change after a chance encounter with a mysterious woman on a bridge. When he saves her from falling, she insists that he become her husband on the spot. Crazier thing is, he actually goes through with it. But that's not even the wildest part. Eagle Novak had just delivered a package and was in a very good mood. Although it's a busy job, the more he makes deliveries, the more money he makes. After passing a bridge, Eagle thought, once I cross this bridge, I can go home in half an hour. What? Eagle braked suddenly and looked at the girl on the bridge in confusion. The girl sat outside the railing and was in danger of falling at any time. Does she want to commit suicide? Eagle hesitated, parked the tricycle quietly, and walked towards the girl. It would prick his conscience if he ignored it. The girl seemed to be lost in thought and did not notice Eagle's approach. As he approached, Eagle rushed up to her, hugging her and dragging her to a safe place. Worried that she would resist, Eagle continued to hold her hand tightly. Listen to me. I'm a delivery person, not a bad person. Don't move. It's very dangerous here. You are so young. Don't think about ending your life. Everyone has setbacks. You never know which will come first, tomorrow or the accident. I live a life of paying off old debts day by day, just like a woman takes a few days a month. Even though life is hard, I never think about dying. Eagle said all the words of encouragement he could think of until he couldn't say anything else. Listening to his constant narration and looking at her restricted hands, Suri Drew was confused. She was indeed upset, so she came here to relieve herself and enjoy the crisp air of the bridge. While she was thinking, she was suddenly hugged by the man and fell off the railing with him. Just as she was about to break away, the man started nagging her non-stop. Only then did she realize that he was a kind-hearted person, not a gangster. Suri Drew smiled after listening to the delivery man's sincere advice. This delivery guy is a pretty interesting guy. The girl didn't respond or struggle, and Eagle felt even more worried. Miss, if you die in front of me, I will feel guilty for the rest of my life. Then are you going to keep catching me? Suri Drew asked with a smile. Eagle smiled awkwardly. It turned out that the girl did not want to commit suicide. After taking Suri Drew 20 or 30 meters away from the bridge, Eagle finally let her go. Suri Drew turned his head and looked at Eagle. He was a little taller than her, well-proportioned, neither fat nor thin. Wearing a delivery man's uniform, the clothes underneath are clean. Eagle turned his head and looked at the girl. Her face is soft and delicate, a little pale, but this does not hide her stunning appearance. She was probably the most beautiful girl he had ever seen in his life. Am I beautiful? Suri Drew asked with a smile, noticing his attention. Yes, you are beautiful. Eagle quickly turned his head. Unexpectedly, the girl suddenly grabbed his hand and said softly, Brother, why don't you marry me? Eagle was shocked. In this way, he was dragged by the girl to register for marriage. Here, take it. Suri Drew handed the marriage certificate to Eagle. Eagle looked at the marriage certificate in his hand and felt like he was dreaming. It's hard to believe this is real. Did he just get married? Just an hour ago, he was single. And now he was married to a woman so beautiful that he couldn't take his eyes off her. When they left the Civil Affairs Bureau and were about to go to Suri's car, a luxury car suddenly accelerated and stopped in front of them. The car window rolled down, and a woman with heavy makeup began to laugh at Suri. It turns out to be the current girlfriend of ex-boyfriend Bob Presley. The man sitting in the driver's seat also glared at Eagle, his eyes full of anger and jealousy. The women began to compare, laughing at Eagle, who was just a courier. I'm not sure how much my husband earns in a month, but it's definitely more than Bob. Bob's family only has tens of millions of dollars in assets. Suri counterattacked mercilessly. My husband has $100 million in cash on hand, not counting other assets, which is estimated to be $1 billion in total. Suri counterattacked the woman without hesitation. Although she also knew that Eagle might not have the strength, she didn't care. After saying this, they arrived at the bridge where they had first met, and Suri drove away. He looked down at the marriage certificate in his hand, as well as the key and note that Suri had given him before she left, feeling as if he was sleepwalking. Detecting that the host is now alone, the reward will be given. You are awarded $1 billion in cash and assets. The assets are comprised of rental properties, complete with all the necessary legal documents and memory inclusions for the management company. It took Eagle nearly 10 minutes to figure out what was going on. He was shocked and even somewhat at a loss. This was the work of the system. That's right, he got a system where as long as his wife brags, he can actually achieve what he's bragging about. For example, the $1 billion that just arrived. This is a very interesting novel. After MC obtains the system, he directly becomes a billionaire, but his wife must not know about the system and like it, so that the bragging can come true. From a courier to a billionaire, the first thing to do when changing your identity must be revenge. In addition, although MC gets married and gets the system, the heroine is only grateful to him now and has no love for him. If MC wants to be with Suri forever, she still needs some love skills. Wow, it turns out to be a romance novel. So, how will the plot develop next? Click the link in the introduction to read the full content.